We're here at SPG on the Nace Road to talk to Aishling Daly, one of the pioneers of Irish MMA. Her career actually predates that of Conor McGregor and Cathal Pendred, and by 2011 she was ranked number 3 in the world and held one of the US titles. After a tough patch in 2012, she's re-emerged to now being a competitor on the Tough 20 series for the UFC. We spoke to Aishling about her time in the Tough House and what her next phase in career holds for her. So Aishling, when you started MMA a long time ago, there wasn't many people doing it, let alone women doing it. First of all, was it hard to get up and go training as the only lady in the gym? And secondly, why MMA?
I guess I've always been a competitive person, even whether it was in school when it came to, tests, or whether it was, athletics or anything like that. And I saw MMA as being the ultimate form of competition, mental and physical. So that was definitely one of the reasons why I got into MMA, and obviously the UFC is the pinnacle of our sport, so that's where everybody wants to be. And to have men competing there who were probably not as skilled as myself and plenty of the other girls around, I definitely wanted to see that going forward, that the UFC would take us on as well.
It's well documented that you were diagnosed with depression, so it was a tough time in 2012 for you. How were you feeling back then? Yeah,
I just didn't feel great, and like I said, I just opened up to people and started talking about it, and then went and got myself to a doctor, and I had a chat then, and went and saw a psychologist, and it all just kind of was diagnosed from there. And basically I just feel so much better now from having done that. And sometimes it's just a relief to put a name on something, instead of just feeling bad all the time. You're like, okay, well this is the case, and this is how I handle it, and this is how I'm going to go forward. So it's just nice to have a name and a game plan. I'm feeling so much better myself. Like, even the fact that I was able to go in and compete in the Ultimate Fighter, that was such a tough experience. If I hadn't been mentally well enough or mentally strong enough at the time, I wouldn't have been allowed to go in. I had to be psychologically cleared before allowed going in. I know a lot of the other girls didn't have to be, when I think some of them should have been, but yeah, everything's going great now.
Can you just sum up the whole experience, how you felt about your Tough 20 experience?
To sum it up, for me, it was a means to an end. I have a UFC contract now, but I'd never do it again. The experience to me wasn't a nice experience. It was very difficult. It was very physically and emotionally draining. So for me, I'm signed with the UFC now, and that's all I wanted. It was just a means to an end, and I have what I wanted out of it, and now I get a chance to shine on the proper big stage. Out of everybody that was in the show with me, I definitely feel like I'm the best. I'm the best in the world in that weight class. There was nobody there that I felt was better than me in any way. I don't feel like there was anybody there who was mentally tougher than I am. I really just feel like I belong at the top of that division. So it was great for my confidence to be able to train with these girls. And even the work ethic of some of the girls in the show was pretty pathetic, to be honest. This kind of princess mentality, do a couple of rounds, take a rest. Irish people aren't built like that. We're hard workers. We get in and we just train hard and we work hard and we get our head down, and just to see that these girls are being successful when they don't train hard and that they don't put the same kind of dedication or effort in that I do, it's really just given me a mental edge. I think I just work harder. I've earned it. I deserve it more. I've just one request.
What's the request?
We have to be able to watch UFC Dublin in the house.
Done.
Okay.
You actually debuted before the likes of Conor McGregor, Cathal Pendred and Chris Fields. So what has it been like watching them through their mixed martial arts journey?
It's been a really great experience, to see these guys coming in, not really having a clue about MMA, and being able to beat them up, but I guess was one of the things at the beginning, because I've been here so long, and so technically even when they did start, so it's just nice to see how they've all grown and progressed. I'm delighted for them all, how well they're doing. Conor's been such a big thing for the sport in general in the country. Like, he's done so much for me, even just by being himself and getting the recognition to the sport. The sport wouldn't be doing half as well in the country as it is without him. So I'm just proud of the guys, and I'm happy with all their success, and it's great to see how much hard work that they've put in, and that's all paying off now. We definitely have some up and comers now as well. I definitely think I'll be in the UFC now in a few years, but yeah, it's great. It's just we're such a close team, and we all work so hard together, so it's just great to see everybody succeeding at the same time. Obviously
you can't tell us how the fight finished off, but can you tell us anything about why we might tune in next week?
It's a great fight. That's all I'll say. Jessica's a tough girl. I'm a tough girl. She has good jiu-jitsu. I have good jiu-jitsu. So yeah, it's a bit of a war. I'd definitely tune in.
This is Fergus Ryan for Independent.ie in SPG on the Nace Road.